Hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Randwin Parked. This is episode number 53. Three.
Yep. Because we totally forgot that last episode was our 2-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it was exciting times. Hi,
Yeah,
I
it was.
am Cone Dodger, joined by Kurt J. Mac and ZK, bringing you random car ads from the world that we find funny, or interesting, or mistakes.
Or our own.
Or our own. Yeah. It's the format's getting looser here by the episode. Really is. And this one is this is the loosest episode yet. Range of responses there. So last time we had the exciting Bring a Trailer auction ending Corolla sale. That was quite a thing. So I guess we'll start this episode with kind of closing that out. Closing the Corolla chapter.
Closing that chapter. Looking in the rearview mirror. The fender mirror, that is. There was a little bit of... it sold, obviously. There was no reserve, so it was going to sell no matter what. And as everybody, I suppose, hopes when they post on an auction site, there were two people who really wanted it. And up at the end there, as you saw, they went back and forth until one dropped out. A little bit of a scary situation in that both of those people and the winner were like, they just created their accounts. They've been members since April 2021. So that's a little bit like, because for those who don't know, Bring a Trailer doesn't handle the transaction. Mm-hmm. They'll charge the buyer the 5% buyer's fee, so that hopefully means that they have skin in the game and will follow through.
Right.
But there are plenty of situations where the buyer doesn't follow through. Bring a Trailer bans them from participating in the future. I don't know how they do that. I'm assuming it's based on having their credit card information and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's always a little bit of a worry to have somebody who has no comments or has never bid on anything else.
Right. Yeah, it's a little different than when it's on Craigslist, because it's well, this person either has money or they don't, and they're going to show up at my door with money or not.
Right. Or with a knife.
One can hope.
Craigslist. So yeah, that was a little bit worrying, and it was a little more worrying in that I didn't hear a response from them. Bring a Trailer sends you an email and says, these are the next steps, contact the buyer ASAP, and here's their contact information, both their phone number and their email, contact information. And I didn't hear back anything. So it was concerning for that first 24 hours. But then I finally did hear back. And it's an interesting story. And this I found out when they eventually came to pick it up. It got picked up. The Corolla's gone. And apparently, it was bought by the wife of someone who wanted it. The guy who wanted it was bidding on it and dropped out at $5,000. But then the wife created an account while she was at work or something, and ended up winning the bid, obviously winning the auction, and as a gift to him, I suppose. Can I
just say, what a good partner.
Yeah, that's some serious mistake making right there.
Yeah, very true. That's some marriage-ending mistakes.
I've gone over before. I've had budgets and overshot them on purchases. Not by almost double.
True, yes. Almost double. So that was an interesting little storyline. And so I got her contact information since she's the one who won the account or won the auction. And she didn't know how it worked. She thought Bring a Trailer was going to charge her.
Right.
And I'm like, haha, no. So then I ended up getting in contact with the husband, the guy who actually wanted the car, and I got paid, and they were originally they were saying they were out of Reno, Nevada, and he was originally like, oh, I'm gonna drive it. I'm gonna go down there with my friend and we're gonna drive it back. And I'm like, okay, that's
Have
your choice.
fun.
But then he ended up having, I guess, a flash of sanity. And he has a truck and a trailer, so they drove the truck and the trailer down.
Well, okay.
And thankfully, the main thing I was worried about if he was going to drive it is like I have all these parts and like a full set of spare tires, like the original wheels and tires and the original bumpers and stuff. I'm like, those are not all going to fit in the car, and if they do, the car isn't going to go
right.
all that weight.
It's gonna be a very long trip.
Yes. So no, yeah, everything got squared away. They came and picked it up. I had nothing to do with loading it on the ramp. So I was like, well, that's on you.
Right.
I have no.
See it.
Yep. I pretty much watched them winch it up. They tried to drive it up the ramp, and that was scary. So they ended up again coming to their senses and winching it up, and driving away. And they took everything.
They took everything.
They took everything. They took my soul. No, I mean like I didn't put like the original bumpers in there. I gave them the new headers and aluminum radiator that I bought that I never got around to putting in just because take it. Now I got more garage space for more stuff for the Datsun.
So did you end up telling them about the thing?
No. I told them they got a new thing.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's kind of what I meant. Like,
right. No, yeah. I just said, oh, you got a new alternator and starter, and all the batteries last year.
Totally gonna break after you bought it and before you can pick it up.
Oh, that's good.
Fine.
That's good.
Did you give them the old one?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So.
Great. Well, I mean, I want to say good job, but I don't know why.
I mean, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I certainly got a lot more than reason would
right.
pretend, but it was also a lot of work.
Yeah. Yep.
With the month of trying to get pictures in and like cleaning everything. And,
like, would it be that much work for everybody? Maybe not. But
right.
But it's still way more effort than like just throwing it up on Marketplace.
True, but at the same time, I like that I put that effort into it. I like having I have like pictures that I took time to actually take of it.
Mm-hmm.
The listing will be up there for heck knows how long.
And it feels more like a complete thing. Like it feels like somebody got it that's actually going to do something with it, not just
True.
like
yes.
This is gonna be my son's first car.
Right.
That would be
Not to mention that it was probably worth it monetarily also.
Probably.
True. I'm 2 for 2 for probably breaking even or better with the SVX and now the Corolla.
Get out of the game.
Yes.
While you're ahead.
This isn't gonna continue.
Oh boy.
Well, cool. Glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that's been happening is ZK. ZK's been happening.
Yeah, speaking of hard work, did you know how hard it is to buy a new car?
It's real hard to buy a new car these days.
Yeah, it's very strange when a manufacturer supposedly makes the car and then no one wants to sell it to you.
I want to ask first from the audience. Yes. Have you not had very awful, cringy experiences with Honda dealerships? Anybody out there have a really hard time with Honda dealerships? Continue.
Okay, so I don't know if it's specifically worse with Honda or not. I don't think they were the worst, but the worst dealer I dealt with was a Honda, but they were also one of the other dealerships was not the worst. But anyway, so this particular car is apparently very difficult to find. It is a 2021 Honda Civic hatchback sport touring with a 6-speed manual
Could you tack a few more things on there?
in Sonic Gray. So this was really annoying because it's the high trim, the touring, so it has all like the fancy stuff, like you can see in this picture, the nice headlights versus the crappy halogens. But apparently, while Honda makes these, they don't make them, or dealerships never ordered them. As far as I could tell, when I was looking for these, there was 2 for sale. There was one in like near New Jersey, and then one in Seattle.
Specifically the manual.
Specifically the manual. Yes, you could get the tourings in automatic like all day long. And then the normal sport, which is like the lower trim, and those in manual were easier to find. But suppose like this car. So one dealership I talked to was like, no, we don't have it. We'll actually look for one for you, and if we find one, we'll let you know. And surprise, like a week or 2 later after I originally talked to them, they're like, hey, we supposedly found one in Texas. We're trying to get it. We'll let you know. I was like, okay, cool. And then like a week went by, and like supposedly the dealership that owned it, the sales manager was on vacation or something. I'm like, okay, so does this car exist or not? And they're
Right.
like, the next week they're like, yeah, we still haven't heard back. And it's like, okay, so does this car exist or not? Because I don't want one from New Jersey, because I actually contacted that dealership, and apparently the actual owner of the dealer was driving it around.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that detail.
Yeah, so like, why would I want a car that's been driven around, sold as new, because technically it's never been registered, so they can sell it as new.
Yeah, here's a fun fact. If you go to a dealership and you just like pick a new car, make sure you check the mileage, that it's not like unreasonably high for a new car, because they can like use them basically as company cars and still sell them as new.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah, it's
legal.
like anybody you see driving around with dealer plates.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Real cute.
So then it gets more complicated. What I wind up having to do is basically do a Google search for like sport touring Texas minus CVT in Google. And then this car popped up at a random dealership in town. So I contacted them. They're like, okay, yeah, this car exists. We can get it. I was like, what do you mean you can get it? I'm like, it's at one of our sister dealerships.
Of course it is.
So through some more sleuthing, I actually found this car was in Beaumont, of all places, which is a bit east. It's like the next big city east of Houston.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I geography wise, I now understand where it was.
Yeah,
Having
which
made
is,
that
if
trip.
you know anything about Beaumont, it's a weird place for that car. But the reason it wasn't coming up in any searches is that it was listed as, it was like on that dealer's webpage, it was like Civic Sport Touring 6MT,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the details it was listed as an automatic. So anytime you try to sort by manual, it would never pop up.
Oh, do I know that pain?
The reverse is even more annoying, I think. But
Right.
Anyway, they get the car for us. That transaction went through pretty easy because, well, we're decent people to, like, we're whatever. We have good credit.
We're decent people.
Wait a minute. So what you're saying is, if you don't have good credit,
You're an indecent being.
In the eyes of a dealership, yes. So apparently they drive the car 40 miles or whatever from Beaumont. We get the car with like 99 miles on it, which whatever. It like the mileage added up to where it wasn't like a joyride car.
Mm-hmm.
We went and got it. No, and what's weird is after I contacted the dealership, was the sister dealership, you can see in this picture, Sterling Call. They don't get a shout out, but they're the ones that had the car. The people who were trying to find this car for me, I sent them a text message. I was like, "Is this the car you were trying to find me?" And they're like, "Oh yeah. Can you come get it tomorrow?" After waiting 2 weeks for any updates, I'm like, no. And actually, we went after talking to the dealership that had the car. They're like, okay, we'll come in tomorrow and buy it. Basically, this is the car we want. We talk price. It's like, okay, that's the price. We'll come get it tomorrow, basically.
Right.
And the dealership that was looking for it texted me like, "Oh, apparently that car was in a wreck and we can't sell it to you." I'm like, "Okay, really? Wow. What happened?" They're like, "I don't know. We just had marked damage and can't sell it." It's like, okay. Just all of a sudden, after I locked in an appointment, that this car was apparently dropped off a shipping container or something.
So it's like a question of, did they not want to admit that they didn't get it and got sold out from under?
Mm-hmm.
Or was the other dealership didn't want to deal with them and just went no, that car's damaged, you can't have it?
So I think it's both, actually.
Good. All dealerships are awful.
Yes. So the story gets a little more... So we went to go pick up the car and we did a test drive and signed paperwork, and we look at the key fobs, and one of them has a tag on it that is "Take to body shop."
Huh.
And I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Were they lying? But I made them tell me what happened, and apparently so the thing said damage on passenger rear door or something.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't want to buy a damaged brand new car.
Mm-hmm.
And I made them tell me what it was. And they're like, apparently there was a scratch or something on it. And truth be told, I completely believe that there was a tiny scratch on the rear door, because I went over the car with a flashlight and everything. And I literally could not see anything wrong with it. So having a tiny scratch gave them an excuse to tell off the other dealership.
I guess. I don't know. This whole thing, this is you could write a novel about this story.
Oh God. And yeah, but now we have a nice new Civic, and really I super enjoy the car.
That's good. It's basically everything you wanted out of the CTR, right?
Yeah,
CTR?
the Civic Type R.
But less extra looking.
Yeah, I mean, it has less horsepower.
Yeah, but
and all the fancy suspension, but also at the same time it has power seats, while the CTR has manual sport seats and
right
stuff.
So
and it's not $82,000 like the one dealership quoted me.
Right. That's the big thing. Is that it's normal price. I think the problem is that you ran into, and this is how it is now. This is how it is and how it will be. You don't get a base model manual anymore. Buying a manual is a fancy thing to get. So
yes, but also I'm glad that's not the thing, because for a while there the only manuals were on the stripper models.
Right. Yeah, that
came with absolutely nothing and no one wanted that car.
That's how it was for the last 15 years was if you got a manual, that's because you got a base model Focus or something. Well, 2 sagas now complete.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. You did great. I have a saga too, but I'm not even going to get into it because it's been 19 minutes. It's been 20 minutes, and we haven't even gotten to the end yet.
Come on. We need to hear this. Just give a quick.
The quick
overview.
The quick overview is that I really, really hate dealing with dealerships because they don't want you to get the car you want. They just want you to get a car. So if there's any barrier between you and getting the car you want, they will basically just lose their minds and not sell you what you want. And if I don't lose my mind in the next few weeks, you have ZK to thank for it. Because the enabler himself has gotten involved in trying to find a new car for, I guess, for us, and it's very uncomfortable for me because I've never really bought a car that isn't just kind of to my needs. And then the other person that needs the car also doesn't care at all. Like, has basically zero opinion about anything about the car. Yeah, the only qualification we've gotten is it cute?
Is it cute?
Which I'm not qualified to make that decision. I'm not going to spoil what has been decided on because until it's in my driveway, I'm not going to believe that it's going to happen. So that's where I'm going to leave that. That'll be a saga for another day. And now, let's look at some ads, shall we? Did you know this was the show where we look at car ads?
Sometimes.
Occasionally. This week for Ran When Parked, I have got what I do believe is the cream of the crop Ran When Parked. It is a 1965 Ford Mustang Cobra, which is a bold lie. Coupe two-door. It is a C-code manual transmission with a Virginia title in hand. If you are reading this, it's available. Have both doors with the door tag in the driver's side. Hood and trunk lid. Was running when parked. Has some rust. Needs TLC. Don't send me a lowball offer. No trades. I want cash, as in Mr. Benjamin's, in my hand. I really thought this was sarcasm, but no, I do believe they are trying to claim that this quote-unquote 329-mile vehicle ran when parked. Mm-hmm.
Was it ran when parts card?
Like, there's no valve covers, there's no thermostat in there. Like, it's just a completely open, exposed, rusted engine.
Yeah.
Ran when parked.
Ran when parked. It also doesn't have anything behind the engine, it looked like, from the first picture, like, you know,
But it
a
had
rear end.
three transmission code or something like
Right,
that.
it was a C code car, so that means it's rare, valuable, cash, Benjamins. I really enjoy when these things are on trailers and have clearly never been off the trailer. Like, they drug this out of the woods somewhere, like, we're gonna fix this thing up. Never did. Never took it off the trailer. Here it still is. Ran when, like, what are the chances this person actually knows this thing ever ran? This might have rolled off the factory floor not running and they wouldn't know.
I mean, 329 miles, they probably, like, you know, drove it home and then around town for a week or something.
And I'm sorry, the audacity to actually write driven 329 miles when it's clearly only a 5-digit odometer is that takes some cojones.
That's the trip odometer.
Ran when parked, ran 329 miles, I'll have you know.
$5,000.
The trunk is smooshed in too.
Yeah, that's probably why I got parked, because something fell on it.
Yeah, the paint buckets falling on it situation is.
So yeah, that's when we make fun of Ran When Parked, that's why. Kurt.
Well, at least a bomb didn't fall on it. What I have for you is a 43 Ford Burma Jeep bomb hauler for $1,995.
Powers wants this.
I assume they would. Also called the Burma Jeep. 22,220 original miles, 4-speed with a high-low, a 10,000-pound winch, 6-cylinder rated at 90 horsepower, 17 feet long, 7,500 pounds, 6-volt. It has not been run in 10 years. It has been under covered storage and ran when parked. Needs new bedwood, don't we all? Owned this truck for 42 years.
42 years.
So for 32 years it was running, but the last 10, no more. And
All right.
listing for my brother, the owner.
Oh, of course.
They are a band of brothers. So yeah, this is a very weird,
What?
stumpy nosed Jeep.
This is your cats, Kurt. If those cats were a vehicle.
It took me a few moments to put that math together.
What a.
So,
What in the hell is this?
That's where you sit, right next. That's the engine cover.
But there's
I don't know
also
where you
like
put
6
these.
foot of fender with you.
I think everything has to be pushed forward because you're hauling bombs. Weight distribution.
Oh,
So they say it's a bomb hauler, but what makes it a bomb hauler and not just a flatbed?
because it's a
I'm glad you
bomb
asked.
hauler.
Here are some pictures of actual restored ones. They have these bomb hauling crane attachments.
I'll
I
have
did
you
some
know
research.
that other truck was completely different than this one.
It was not.
Look at the front.
The rear bed was like it's like got a.
Yeah, this one has a bed, but
Yeah.
But the
So
chassis
they-
and everything is clearly the same.
The front is the same, yeah, but
I would say,
clearly all the bomb parts have been removed.
yeah, I would say it was probably a bomb hauler that turned into a farm truck.
But then why are you selling it as a bomb hauler and not a Jeep farm truck?
Well, I'm sorry, ZK, that it didn't have bombs with it.
like are clearly illustrated here.
Right. Yeah, this
I'm
one's got
just gonna
stake sides.
This looks like a picture from a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
It really does.
Because as you know, all Bugs Bunny cartoons take place during the Second World War.
Well, there's one episode that's like ingrained in my brain that did. And it was like, it was one of the first things I think that ever traumatized me as a child was this episode.
Is that the like one that is now banned for being racist or something?
I don't know. The only part of it I remember is they dropped Bugs and a bomb out of a plane. And it's like this horrifyingly long sequence of them both falling through the air with that like sound in the background. And yeah, for some reason that terrified me as a kid. So thanks, Kurt.
You're welcome. See, these rare military vehicles bring back all the memories.
Yeah, no, seriously, Powers wants this. Yep. You might as well just send him the ad.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, all those pictures and stuff. Burma Jeep is really what they're called. I don't know what Ford had to do with it, but
42 years.
you gotta have hobbies.
I guess.
So you know
You
what
gotta
those
stop.
bombs do? They cause quite a mess that might need to be swept up. 2008 Armadillo unknown. It's an Armadillo floor sweeper. Engine did have some heating problems and now has not been running in a year since new sweeper was purchased for our warehouse. It needs to be trailered.
Huh.
It is a
I ain't never seen one of these before.
neither have I. It looks
What's
like
the
an
second
indoor
one
sweeper
parked behind it?
machine.
That's the new one, Kurt.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that thing. Huh.
So it's
Yeah.
you're sweeping like a warehouse or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. A Ranwin parked, not street sweeper, but like warehouse sweeper.
Yeah, it's got a lot of levers.
Yeah,
Two headlights.
there is a lot of stuff going on here for a sweeper. Now that you mention it. Huh. That's
What a strangely specific thing. Let me just say.
that's the part that's kind of baffling me is what a very particular vehicle this is.
Such a niche vehicle, and then it's obviously it's a market because they bought a new one.
Right. The
And
new
it's
one
only a 2008. This looks like it's from the 70s.
the new one doesn't have a enclosed cockpit though.
Does it meet OSHA standards?
That's well,
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought this was hilarious.
that's pretty funny. Apparently they're expensive. $650 one doesn't run.
I mean, per pound though.
True, I guess.
See, this is the 6W9X. The 9XE is the premium model.
Yeah, but dealers can't just get you that one. You gotta
Right.
do some work to find it.
So, is this a tri-wheeler? Why am I?
I would say it is. But good lord,
Right,
I only
it's got
see
three
one
wheels.
wheel, so at this point, I'm just gonna say it only has one. It's a unicycle for all I can tell.
So does that mean that you could street legally drive this? Register
I
as a motorcycle?
severely doubt it.
I bet I could.
It is Texas. End of statement. Well, an intriguing Redwood Park. Now we move on to. I'd make that mistake. Listen, mine is a continued. There's only like 2 mistakes that I'm looking to make here these days. It's either going to be Brad or it's going to be 200SX, and it's a race at this point. Whichever one of these like ends up in my yard first is going to be what it is. And one came up pretty close to me and sold before I could even make an offer. A 1986 Subaru Brat for $2,500 with the excellent, wonderful description of needs gas tank.
Needs gas tank.
That's it. That's all you need to know about this Subaru Brat. It is a
200.
T-top model.
Ooh, I see that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do business with this person.
Listen. Luckily, it sold before I could get there. It's every one of these I find has the bumper smashed in somewhere, like front or rear. I don't know why. I guess because they're
Do they
like.
have bad brakes?
I always say that about hard body pickups. You ever notice that every hard body
Yeah.
pickup has the front bumper pushed in?
Yeah, you're kind of right there.
It's got to be because they got terrible brakes or something. Like I know they're one of the last. Like that's like the last era of vehicle to not have ABS.
Mhm.
So maybe that has something to do with it, but it's real hard to find one of those Nissan pickups that doesn't have the front hull smushed in. But apparently the Brat has really good brakes. Shocks people.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So yeah, the hunt continues. I don't really have anything else to offer other than a plea to everybody. Please check your local listings for 1982 to 1985 200SX fastbacks.
Does it come with a beer can?
Judging by the character at large here, probably.
Now there
So
is
what that tub thing?
looks like a cement mixer.
This, that's a dryer drum.
Yeah.
Ah.
Anyway, Kurt.
No, there is. I since we don't have a I know what I have segment anymore. There is one that I have saved.
Is it red?
I got it. What's that?
Is it a Brat or a 200?
A Brat.
Oh, okay.
It is. Hold on now. I lost it. Anyway, they want. It's. I just wanted to look at like how many miles it had, but they want 16,000 for it.
Okay,
Oof.
gross, disgusting. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about your 60. If you find a 200SX, we found one in freaking Kansas or something like that. That they were asking. What were they asking, ZK?
Don't ask me to remember things.
I think they were asking like 5 for it. It was a turbo. It was a manual. It was in good shape, not like pristine. And we ended up contacting them and being like, you should probably put this on Bring a Trailer, just so you know,
Yeah.
because they were severely undercharging for this car. And then I contacted them, or no, somebody else contacted them and said that they already had an offer for 9.
Oh yeah.
Just not even putting it on Bring a Trailer or anything. Like, so I'm really feeling like my 200 dream is dead, is what I'm saying. But we'll see. Kurt, with that cash in your pocket.
With that cash in my pocket, I can't even buy this 1973 Citroen SM.
And thank God for that.
The mileage is actual 53,325. My dad bought it in 1975. It's been painted once. Body has no damage. It is unfortunately a ran when parked,
Oh.
as it has not ran in 10 years, much like that bomb hauler. And there is a sale pending, so I might miss out on this, just like you missed out on the.
Depending on the year, I think these had the Maserati V6s.
Oh, good. Those words made me feel better about it.
True. This is a 6-cylinder. This is an automatic as well, but
Well, they're
mean,
touring
you're not
cars,
buying
right?
This car, I don't
Yeah.
think, for the performance.
Yeah.
With the hydraulic suspension and push button brakes.
But what is this picture?
It's your actual mileage.
Wait, what does that say?
It's also going 60 miles an hour.
I'm sorry, does that have a stopping distance gauge on the speedometer?
Yep.
That's...
They were very proud of their brakes.
And wait, does the speedometer go all the way around? It does.
Oh yeah, so
Like
that's
it
160.
rests at 160,
Oh, that's 160, yeah.
and then you can just go all the way around to get one back to
So-
160.
I've long said that the Citroen SM is like, if you ever see me buy one, I'm done, I'm through, put me out of my misery. That means I've like jumped the shark, because I really like these things, but they're horrible, awful decisions.
What am I seeing under... This is... What is this one that's on Ringer Trailer currently? Or
Right.
something?
I wanted, because I'd seen one, a manual one went for like 60 grand recently, but this is the last automatic that went for 35.
Jeez. Maserati
Yeah.
V6, yeah. What is going... Is the license plate under this piece of glass in the front?
Yes, it is.
What a vehicle.
Isn't it though?
I do like the ones with the more integrated headlights rather than just the round halogens.
What? So, like, drugs or no drugs here? Is this intentional design? Like, what... Did they think this was the
They're
future
so
of...
cool, Cone.
Okay.
They are like the most comfortable, awesome car in the world with a hydraulic suspension. It's just super comfortable. It always works well. You never have to replace the accumulators.
Well,
Well,
it's French. That should explain everything. French.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
very, very French.
how many how many big hits of power does it have?
I forgot the conversion, but probably like a tenth of a get. Maybe
I mean,
less.
it's a Maserati V6 NA from 1970 something, so
Yeah, but it's pretty powerful though, as we learned at some point.
not during the Nürburgring 24 hour because they didn't make it very long. Actually, I guess it's Maserati. Like they shot out of the hole and then died in the first hour. All right, I guess that's Kurt's mistake, but now we know if we see ZK in one of those, you have to put him down.
Mhm.
ZK.
So I might have bought a Honda yesterday, but what about a Honda today?
All right, moving on. We're done here.
A 1995 Honda Today four-wheel drive hatchback, low miles, $6,700. JDMK Catch came with the same four-wheel drive system as the Aceti
I
truck.
was at Acti.
I think Acti is correct. I don't know. It's one of those words that don't really translate to English. Powered by a 660cc 3-cylinder mated 5-speed manual transmission. Perfect for a collector, Honda enthusiast, or someone looking for a cool daily driver. And this initial picture looks very strange.
It does.
It's like the scale is all wrong.
Right. Thankfully, it's got the stock wheels on here.
Yeah.
And it looks more normal, but it is weird that it has the truck drivetrain in it.
Yeah. And as far as GDMK cars, this one's pretty cool. I think they're all cool, but
The hood
there's
dent,
windshield wiper.
yeah,
Yeah.
for the windshield wiper is a choice. Huh.
And it's got it's very basic interior.
Very basic.
It has the flare apparently, which you're not supposed to be able to import, but who cares? It's
Yeah.
the same. Like this picture makes it look like a giant, like it has giant tires on it or something. But those are I think those are 15s.
Right. They're too tall though. Like that's too much sidewall for this car. In my
Sure.
opinion, ZK obviously doesn't agree. I could hear the disdain in his voice. Today, humming.
Humming like the bird.
You need help.
But the whole thing with this car is that in every picture the scale looks wrong.
Right.
It looks like a normal sized car, and then you see like the seat.
Or this engine.
Yeah, that's the same size as the Panasonic battery.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell with the parking spaces that it's tiny, but we need it next to something.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on in this speedometer? 1, 2. Oh, is those the gears you're supposed to be in, maybe?
Probably. Also, that's the same steering wheel that's in the CRX.
Oh, yeah, that's Honda. That's what they did.
But there's the 4-wheel drive system.
Yep.
Oh, it's 4-wheel drive.
It is, yeah. It's got the whole Acti, like, 4-wheel drive thing under it.
Oh.
Very, very interesting choice. But these were meant to be, person in photo, by the way, for bingo. Meant to be, like, winter get-around vehicles.
Yeah.
I know they talked about that a lot on Mighty Car Mods when they were looking at the Daihatsu.
Not the Miura, or
I think it was the Miura. And that's why it was so rusty.
yeah.
What is this?
I don't know. It's got a random bump in the hood or the
Somebody had an extra metal die laying around, and they were like, "Boy, we got to use this thing." What?
Also, I like the position the guy's taking the pictures in.
Right.
He's got a nice gold chain on or something.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing.
In my mind, this must be a very short person. Huh. How many monies was it?
67.
Seems to be about the going rate for these unusable K-car imports these days.
From my understanding, is at least here in Texas, it costs about $3,500 to import a car.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the base price.
Right. They're about $3,000 to buy them over there, and then
Yeah.
a couple
So
to get it here and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I had
But-
the choice of all the vehicles over there, I don't know if I would pick this today.
no.
Maybe not tomorrow either. All right, now be honest. How much of that choice was for the pun?
I came up with that pun before the show,
I'll believe you.
like while we were setting up.
Auction watch. We got no Kurt to watch this week, and I got nothing for you.
We got nothing.
We have to talk about Rad. I think
Because I had ideas to talk about Rad because I noticed a trend with Rad. But go ahead. I think you noticed the same thing.
I think it's gonna fail. I don't
Yep.
think Rad's gonna make it. Everything is not going well. So like they've had a couple Camaros on here. One was like an Indy 500 pace car, 1750, like not 17,000, no, 1700. I'm hoping these went like reserved, but they don't list reserves on any of them.
Well, some of them showed no reserve, so
So I have a feeling that because this is a new service, the Rad company probably said, you know, we'll front this up to whatever you think the reserve is going to be. I would hope that's what's going to happen. Otherwise, like, this person just ate their lunch on that thing.
Well, it says bid to and not sold for.
Oh, it does indeed. Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I noticed is that there are a lot of bid tos
Bid
in the
tos.
closed auctions, which means
Mm.
944 sold for $400. Perfect amount.
It was just a spoiler. They're doing parts too.
Oh, that
Um,
was just... Okay.
Some things are going, but overall, they're not getting anything that I think is interesting or rad.
10, 12 cars since the
Right.
latest?
Yeah, it's been very low. They've had quite a few bikes, and I think the bikes are maybe doing okay. But like this Blazer currently sitting at $2,000, I don't know if it's gonna do very well.
I feel like that's pretty low for that generation Blazer.
Right. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but as of now, I don't have a great feeling about it. That Maxima sold for crazy money, I feel. But other than that, I don't know how I feel about it. Is that what you're noticing, Kurt?
yeah. I just decided to I can't remember if there was like something there or something on Twitter I saw that got posted. And yeah, I just looked through and I'm like, well, how's this doing? And I'm like, huh.
Huh.
Like a lot of these are closed and
Yeah.
like there's not actually that many live.
Yeah, if you just go to like
Ads.
auctions and then do like soon. Yeah, there you go. 4
Yeah, there's 4 active listings right now.
that aren't like parts and stuff like. No, those are closed. Yeah, there's 4. There's literally 4.
And 2 of them are bikes.
And 2 of them are bikes. So looks like I might be in the market for a new segment, a new part of a new idea here.
There's always cars and bids.
Yeah, and they had something. What did they have interesting?
We'll get to it.
Oh, okay. Kurt, what did you find on the Bringer trailers?
I found something interesting. This actually listed a little bit before my own ads, so I didn't. So it's already been sold for $45,000 and $666.
666.
A 1986 Pulse Autocycle with matching trailer. One of 326 examples.
Very ZK.
I love the headlight.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice the headlight.
The headlight is a thing.
Oh, what an angle.
So is this technically
It's got
how do you
4 wheels on the ground, right?
Yeah.
But they're saying sellers
It's a
classifying as a motorcycle. Huh.
It was also in Washington. I searched by closest to me. Yeah, this is another weird yellow car on Bring a Trailer.
Yeah, exactly, Kurt. This and the Corolla, I can't believe that these two almost had to go head to head. Would have been a disaster. Look, mini Kragers on this trailer. Oh God. It's a plane.
Yeah, it's fighter. What do they call it? Like fighter plane inspired or
Yep.
cockpit
Yeah, it's got
design or
the retractable cockpit thing.
Did you just say retractable or retractable or retractable?
I think you just said the
Got
same
it,
3
Kenneth.
word.
No.
Retractable.
The seating is pretty great. Honestly, there's a lot here that's pretty great. Oh no.
They included this picture in the ad. It apparently, for this brief and blurry scene of Back to the Future 2, is in the background. Not this one, obviously, but
I
Amazing.
like that they added the little limousine spoiler to the back of this one.
You know
It
that's
makes
not a
it look
spoiler,
featured.
right?
I don't know what they are. Please school me on this.
They are TV antennas.
Cool. Wow.
for only 46 grand, it could have been yours.
That's
That's a
gonna
lot of
that's
money.
gonna be in a museum, right? Like somebody buys this to put it in a museum. It belongs
Approximately
in a
300
museum.
examples. Are they so sure they made 326 of them, but like are they desirable? Like what
Why
there's
wouldn't
lots
they
of
be?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Are they historically significant?
I I don't see anything in the ad like suggesting that, other than the fact that I feel like the fact that it exists is significant.
But
Eh,
you didn't like my weird not a Mustang tricycle thing.
When you say didn't like it, the difference is that was too close.
Mm-hmm,
Like I feel like you could actually have accidentally stumbled into that. You're not gonna just accidentally walk into this thing at $45,000. What a what a thing. See, Bring a Trailer. I have a feeling Bring a Trailer has the stranglehold on the weird stuff that Rad wanted to be, and I don't know that they're ever gonna do it.
Mm.
Like when I think of looking for pop culture cars or just anything that's weird and quirky that's from 70s, 80s, 90s, I'm thinking Bring a Trailer. Like that's already ingrained in I think people's brains, and I don't know that there's more market for that for Rad. But we'll see. All right, ZK.
So what about cars and bids?
But you're breaking the rules.
I break what rules I want to. Also, like 30 people sent this to me, so I had to use it for the
I
show.
know. I have those things too where a brat will go for sale for somewhere for $50,000 and people will be like, "Ah, here's your brat." And I'm like, "Cool. I didn't know I was rich."
But it's a Roadmaster, a 95, so it has the LT1 wagon, but it's lifted on BFGs
With the speed limit sign.
with a speed limit.
Push bar?
Skid guard,
Uh,
rock guard,
yeah, there's a word I'm blanking
skid
on.
plate.
Skid plate. Yes, thank you. Um, and apparently, Doug, I don't know if he adds a quip to every auction because
Think
that seems
so.
like it could get out of hand, but
I
he
think
did
he
for this
does.
one. This thing is just plain cool.
Terrible Doug impression.
Yeah. Well, see, the highlights are always written in the his voice, if you will. This is a 1995
Mhm.
Buick Roadmaster Estate Wagon, etc. I'm not a good Doug. It's fine.
Thank God.
But yeah, it's a lifted Roadmaster on 31-inch BFGs, and it's not rusty. It's actually in pretty decent shape. It's got the towing package. You can tell because it has the mechanical fan.
You know too much.
Uh, and it has a posi. It's listed in the auction. The interior is not the greatest, but it's not the worst.
Yeah. Fair.
They put a stupid um Alpine.
But it's got a Siri button.
Yeah.
Boy, when are we doing this to yours?
Man, you have no idea.
that's that's number one thing. Like if I was into GM vehicles of the era, number one thing I would have to do because
Yeah.
of how
Take it
they
apart
are.
completely and put Dynamat everywhere.
Yep.
And so whoever owned or currently owns this, because this auction is still going, cared about it, but then also lifted it and put a crappy bumper on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in '95, this was $28,000.
Jeez, that's a lot of money. That's
Yeah.
more than the car that I am currently looking at MSRP'd for less than that today.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
And
wild.
you can see it has the California package.
What does that mean?
I have no idea because that looks all like the standard stuff to me.
Oh.
Other than it might be like leather and AC or something, but it also had the towing package and the posi rear end.
It's got all of its flyaway panels, or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
It's got all the wood.
It's got all the trim, all the like stainless trim and stuff on it.
It's a felony, by
But
the way.
apparently
Don't do
got
that.
into Huh?
That's a felony, by the way. Don't do that.
What?
The stealing like a speed limit sign or whatever.
You can buy them at junkyards, at scrapyards.
I've never seen that.
They retire them and put them in scrapyards all the time.
Hmm.
You should not steal one, no.
No, especially not from Roebling Road. Just because the sign says Roebling Road on it, and I know you went to the racetrack and you're like, ooh, this would be a good idea. Don't do it.
No. But apparently it got into like a front fender bender, and then they decided to put a tube bumper thing on it, and I guess a basket off of a Subaru or something. And then
It's kind of cool.
yeah, did you know that they listed this by 5 inches?
5 inches, really?
That's what I said. I was like, it doesn't. It looks stock.
Right. That's pretty crazy.
Apparently, it was just springs. I don't know what springs they used, but there's like literally 100 pictures in the ad. I only included a few of them.
I assume there's a lot of lifting stuff for these for other purposes.
So the suspension is very similar to the Astrovans.
Oh.
So there's a lot of crossover there.
Huh. I was thinking
it's
of like 30-inch wheels.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
The Roadmaster is basically a Silverado wagon, like in drivetrain and suspension and everything.
You said this is still going?
Yeah. So when I checked this right before we started, it was at $7,500. 2 days left. 18 bids.
Huh.
So that's more than I would have expected for this thing. But
Right.
Roadmasters are generally going in that kind of range for decent ones.
But they've kind of roadmastered it a little bit.
It's weird. It's like I would think like this would be a car that was ruined basically,
Right.
and it's still commanding that much money. So maybe I made a good investment.
You guys just keep rubbing in these good investments as if they're real things. Liars. Oh boy. Well, it is time to get to the best finds of the week, meaning that we need to look at the last episode's best finds of the week to see who the winner was. Kurt.
Sorry, your stubby little race car.
Please don't laugh at my stubby little race car, okay? All shapes and sizes.
Not quite, Kurt.
The milk truck, right? Divco milk truck. ZK's, what are they called? Zimmermans? Zimmer
something.
something like that. The horrible not Duesenberg Mercedes, and my perfectly adequately sized late model.
You mean my not Duesenberg Mustang?
Oh, it was a Mustang. Right, it was a Cougar, a Mustang. Yeah. The winner, surprise to me, was Kurt. But
that is a surprise.
I really did like the build. Like, it's pretty cool. But
I wonder how many of those are like because the episode had the Corolla sale in it. I'm going to vote for Kurt.
Aw, dang it. Well,
They weren't voting on the issues.
me and ZK were pretty close. So
45 to 48. That's basically a tie.
basically a tie. Yeah. Essentially, that's a tie. Well, now
So is the audience actually like good builds?
that's what confused me is like I've had good things before and people have been like, that's boring. And then I bring terrible things and they're like, ew, we don't want to see the bad stuff. What do you want?
Fickle crowd.
So I'm bringing to the table the best worst thing I've seen in a while. This is a 2004. You okay, bud?
Are you doing your Doug impression now?
This is a 2004 T-Bird with the following options: factory porthole hardtop, custom-made fiberglass tonneau cover, and a custom Borla twin exhaust system. It has ground effects, front end fascia, and fender skirts The engine is smooth and powerful. Never a problem. Yada, yada, yada about how great it is and how beautiful. How beautiful it is, guys.
Do you remember when these came out?
I do. The craze for these things was insane.
Yeah.
And it goes on. It continues. There's still some bizarre, strong boomer energy for these things. And they are literally just an SN95 Mustang.
Yeah, but they are bigger. And
Sure.
are they all convertibles? I don't remember.
They're all these hardtop convertibles, yeah. This one's been
done up.
improved upon, right? I don't
With
even
the
know
wheel spats and the
I don't know
catfish grill.
what they were going for. Like, it doesn't
don't know.
remind me of an old T-Bird.
Ferrari-esque in the front.
Right. It's
I was gonna say this should have been in Back to the Future. It just looks like a normal car that they added a bunch of junk to make it look futuristic.
I love the like automation style wheel covers too.
Mm-hmm.
It's got an air
The
filter.
box said 5 horsepower.
That's why it runs so smooth.
Mhm.
This clips into the seat belts, so when the hard top is off, you have this behind you.
Right, because they have rear seats, don't they?
Right. So this covers
Yeah.
like the rear seats, I think, or something like that.
I was going to say that one picture looked like it didn't have back seats, but I guess that's what I was seeing.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but there's the original hardtop on a little carrier thing. But good lord. Like
Strong boomer energy indeed.
that's the best description I could come up with this. They're only asking 15, so at least I think they're aware that it's probably like maybe not that great.
Yeah, man, I remember seeing one of those at like it was like the Houston Car Show. Like that was there. They had the it was like the same year they had the SSR and everything. It was that
Mhm.
huge big retro.
I think the grossest memory I have of these goes with the PT Cruiser, and that's like
Yeah.
going to the local drive-in like car show thing, just not the judged or anything like that, just the cruising. And there would be a line of these brand new T-Birds and PT Cruisers and SSRs and things like that, like trying to fit in with the classic cars. And it's
was a-
ruined my opinion of them forever.
That was a weird era.
Really was.
Yeah, I remember
then-
a Chicago auto show where they had like the Chevy Bel Air concept car, which
Right.
looked very similar to this T-Bird.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of them died in 2008.
Yep. There was supposed to be a Nomad retro build off of the Solstice. If you want an interesting Google, look at the Nomad Solstice concept car. Quite a thing it was. All right, Kurt, what do you have to offer?
Why would you have a street sweeper or a warehouse sweeper when you could have a 2007 Go 4 Interceptor 3 that's been made into a custom mini truck, apparently is what they're calling it, for $3,500?
I'm gonna need
It's
ZK's
their-
judgment on this, on whether it's a mini
Yeah.
truck or not.
It's their trusty garden / scooter / grocery / bicycle / toy hauler. Runs amazing. Dual side doors. Dual doors.
Whoa.
Parking in tight spots is a breeze. Custom patina paint job with a custom 7-foot wooden bed with 4 anchor points.
That is the weakest patina job I've ever seen.
I know.
So
It will do close to 70 miles per hour if you're brave.
Good lord, no. Please don't.
this is not a mini truck. It is closest to a golf cart / security
Yeah, that's what they
type thing.
were, like security vehicles.
Yeah, they're parking
Yeah.
meter
So,
made.
how much were they asking for this?
35.
3,500.
Okay, so the scooter on the back, Like if that was included, that's what you're paying for.
I don't think it's included.
But what about the plants?
It's not $3,500.
I like that they're proving that like it moved a scooter, it did their gardening, a motorcycle.
I think that's the same cargo carrier that was on that Roadmaster.
It does look
Probably.
very similar. I want to see some groceries. I better see some.
I will say I am proud of them for using this.
Yeah,
Apparently,
yeah. It does seem like actually used. Others without the bed. Oh, it must like slide into place. Yeah, because the engine's under there. Huh.
Huh.
Huh. That is seriously the weakest patina job I have ever seen.
so they painted it teal, and then took a can of brown and just sprayed it in a couple
From
spots.
6 feet away, they sprayed it in a couple spots. Yeah. Patina? It's more like patina.
Patina.
The LaCroix of Patina.
It's the LaCroix of Patina. This better win just based on that title. Oh boy, that's good. That is good. Can we name that the episode title too?
Write it down so you remember.
I won't.
So for a real mini truck,
Is it though?
a 69 C10,
That's not a
This is-
mini truck.
it is 1,000% a mini truck.
All right, I'll let you have it. You're the authority.
I think so, at least. It's kind of hard to see the scale, but I thought wasn't Finnegan's a C10?
Finnegan's is a C10, but his is a mini truck.
It is a mini. Finnegan's is a mini truck.
All right.
Anyway, it's a C10 showstopper loaded with everything. $90,000.
Affordable.
Affordable. The best of.
No, it's a Chevy.
You been in the back of a Roadmaster lately, Kurt?
So it's a C10 custom pure eye candy. It's got all of the things. It is one of these custom, completely done up jobs things. It's got an LS 3, I guess, 500 horsepower. 4L80. It's literally all of the things.
Yeah,
It is
okay,
a show
all right.
car makes the magazines. It has been in apparently 8 front covers.
That's some pretty paint.
It's got some glorious paint. All the work on this thing,
Mm,
while maybe not to taste, is extremely well done.
All right, all right. Biggest rant of the day. Big arm shifters in an automatic. That is
You're right.
that
I didn't-
is one of the biggest crimes you can do in custom car modification is to like make it look like it's a manual on automatic. Bad steering wheel. Like
It's a GTI wheel that they cut down.
it is. That's great.
But it's low,
It
therefore
is
I
low.
think
Oh, I
Yeah,
see. It
that-
matches the wheels.
Right. It's like the inverse of the
backwards
wheels.
opening doors, the suicide doors, basically.
Yeah.
the-
Yeah.
They want
Standard.
suspension wood, the bog standard stuff.
Yeah. 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 The. Yep.
Orange alternator, but
Yeah, that's a choice. I want to see more of the paint. I don't want to see this. I want to see more of the paint. Give me that close up.
yeah, there was only the one close up, but it's like it looks black, but then in the sunshine,
That's better.
it's like
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can kind of see it
kind
pop
of that-
there.
brown burgundy color. But this truck is, as I would say, low enough.
Low enough. Low enough, he says. Low enough. It's very famous. Jeez, that's a heck
Look
of
at
a
that
notch.
right
Good
there.
lord. Remember when we had the delusions that we could do that to a Ram truck?
I think we still could.
Knowing what I know now, I don't think you could. I really don't.
I think we could. I just think it would be expensive to do it properly.
Well, I mean, apparently you got $90,000 of budget.
I don't. Not unless Dogecoin gets back up a little bit. But also, these pictures are really nice. Like,
Yeah, they're really nice pictures. It's unusual to say, like, this vehicle is insanely customized, and like so much crafting went into this, so much engineering, ingenuity, and yet everything that I look at it and see, all I see is generic, and that's probably extremely insulting to whoever did this.
so I understand what you're saying, but also I agree and disagree with you. And I can't explain myself.
I can't explain why. Like, I appreciate.
I like everything about it until the interior. The interior hurts.
The interior is very strange.
Yeah,
Like,
But I
here's
feel
my
like I
iPad.
kind of dig it.
right. The iPad is very out of place.
So I'll give you the iPad, but I feel like this build was done like
Pre.
10 years ago.
Yeah. It has that look.
Yeah.
I want to say Boyd kind of like started this look of the very sculpted interiors. And they don't age. They weren't good then, and they didn't age better.
What's going on with the rearview mirror?
It's Longhorn. It's for Texas.
Texas, why are you this way? All right, so we have the Boomer Bird. We have the shoot, I forgot what it was now. See, I should have wrote it down.
The LaCroix of Patina?
Thank you. The LaCroix of Patina, or we have ZK's inexplicable love for not mini truck lowriders. There you go. There's some very different choices, and nobody had anything special this episode. So you can vote purely on who had the best find of the week. And I do hope you enjoyed this installment of Ranwin Parked. I'm really tired.
It's not that late.
It's late, and I did just like become an internet for like 60 hours straight.
You had a day off. It's fine.
And I went on a hike. Why am I so stupid?
Why did you go on a hike?
Hikes.
Ugh,
Who does that?
I don't know. Bye, everybody.